What's up, guys? Dylan with Mesa Fitness here, and I'm back for episode 5 of GymTalk. In this episode, I am talking with Michaela Sessum, who is the group fitness director at Mesa Fitness Clifton. Most of you guys actually probably know her from taking her classes. She teaches classes at both Mesa Fitness locations and has been with the team for a long time. In this episode, we talk a little bit about how she got into group fitness, how she transitioned from being a member to an instructor, and her journey since taking over the director role about 6 years ago. We actually talk a little bit about what 2020 meant to her, what it was like doing the online classes, and then how her theater background actually plays into what she does on the floor. It was a really fun talk. I've gotten to work with Michaela for the last couple of years and gotten to know her pretty well and her kiddos. So it was a really fun talk, really fun chat. If you are just tuning in, this is the first episode that you're catching of the GymTalk series. Check out our YouTube channel. All 4 of the previous episodes and then all the rest of the episodes that are going to happen are going to be on our YouTube channel. Just search Mesa Fitness Colorado on YouTube and you'll see that and a lot more. Okay, here is my talk with Michaela. Okay, well, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. I know a lot of people know who you are and always want to know a little bit more about the people that they know and the people that are familiar, especially in the gym. So that's part of why I wanted to bring you in, because you are a popular face in the gym.
Well,
thanks. For anybody who might not know you or might not know a lot about you, introduce yourself. What you do for the gyms and maybe how long you've been here and how you got into it.
Okay. My name is Michaela Sessum. I have been teaching for this April will actually be 9 years. Wow. Started with body combat, but I have been the group fitness manager out at the Clifton location for, I guess this summer will be 6 years, I want to say. So
sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't realize that you had been with the gym. Now, have you been teaching at Mesa Fitness / Gold's Gym for that whole time, or have you been at other facilities?
No. I started teaching at the Junction location. Mm-hmm. That's where I got my start, and then started teaching some classes out in Clifton, a little bit here and there, and I was teaching at both locations when the position of the group fitness manager came up, and so transitioned over into that.
That's awesome. Now, what got you into group exercise to begin with?
Actually, it was just because that's where I felt comfortable. I didn't know what to do on the floor. I didn't know the weight machines. Mm-hmm. I would come do the treadmill only and then sneak out of the gym as fast as I could and never do anything else. And so finally, I walked into a group fitness class, and it was so much easier for me because there was somebody telling me what to do and how to do it. And I could just relax and go, okay, here's my full body workout, 55 minutes, done and done. So
how long did you do it as a participant before deciding you wanted to get into teaching?
I started going to the gym. I joined Gold's when my son was little. He may have been 6 months old. Mm-hmm. So he's going to be 12 this summer. So about 11 years ago. So
that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah. Was there somebody who was kind of a catalyst into getting you into teaching, or was it just something you kind of pursued on your own?
I had made friends with a couple of the instructors, just because I was kind of one of those people who was always in class and knew some of the instructors through that. And then actually Trey had posted something on Facebook, I think, saying that she was looking for instructors. And so I asked to meet with her and asked if she thought that I would be a good fit for body combat, and took it from there. Went to training and then drank the Kool-Aid, and I now teach a ton of different programs and love it.
For anybody who's watching this later or listening to it, what classes do you teach now?
Well, what I teach now, by AirPod, is I teach body combat, I teach body pump, I teach bar, mm-hmm. and that's all I'm teaching actually right now, those programs. I am certified in body pump, body flow, body combat, shabam, Les Mills bar, and yeah, those.
So almost the entirety of our roster of classes.
Yeah, well, it kind of, it's nice as the manager to be able to jump in if you're needed in some space. The only thing I haven't ever tried, which I sure do need to tackle at some point, is spin. It's just the beast that I haven't tackled yet, but someday.
Are you intimidated by it?
Yeah, spin. I like literally barely ride bikes, so I feel like very out of my element. I love taking them, but I just have never felt confident yet.
I feel like spin is one of those classes that like you think of those really high intensity classes, and anybody who's new to classes or even to exercise is just terrified by them. Right?
Yeah.
By spin classes.
Yeah, I think it can be, but the nice part about spin is like you're literally not going to move anywhere. You're right there. You're staying put. You're in your zone. So, that's the nice thing is it's not as intimidating as some. So you got that going for you.
That's good. Now I know you've transitioned recently. It may not be as recently as I'm thinking, but I know you've transitioned back out onto the floor a little bit, and you're working with Keelan, who's the fitness director over here at Mesa Fitness Grand Junction. Talk about that transition going from classes to the floor and how he's been able to help you with that.
So yeah, I've been training with Keelan since he was out in Clifton. So it's been a bit. And for me, it's my time where I get to just, unplug kind of, where I'm not the one responsible for the workout. I'm not thinking about choreography or form or anything like that for others. I get to take a moment and just like get in there and think about what I'm doing and my form and how I need to do things. And because I'm not as comfortable in the weight realm, it's nice to have somebody there who is a professional who can tell me, no, you're doing this exercise wrong, or try it like this. All those things that we get to do as instructors in classes. I don't have that knowledge on the floor. So he does. So it's nice for me to be able to spend that hour just kind of listening to him, getting those exercises and working on my own form.
I think that's something that's pretty common for a lot of clients, not just instructors that are clients, but just clients in general that, maybe they don't have that kind of experience going out onto the weight floor, and that having somebody there during their workouts or programming the workouts they're doing on their own kind of give them a little bit of guidance. Keelan's been building some workouts for me, and I'm a little different. I've never taken a class. That's a lie. I took a Zumba class with my mom when I was like 15.
I would have paid for that.
Yeah, it's probably the Zumba class I'll ever take. But but yeah, I had a lot more experience out on the floor. My dad got me into the gym when I was young. I played basketball, and I was a super skinny kid growing up. And like my sophomore year, he's like, dude, we need to put some weight on you because you're like 6 feet, about $130 soaking wet. So we need to put some weight on you. So it was a little different, but it's still nice to have that aspect of the trainer being able to build a workout for you, even if even though I'm not working with him, just having that thing where you don't have to think about it. You don't have to think about what you're doing the next day.
Yeah, absolutely. We do upper body together every week, and then he gives me a leg program every week. And it's that same thing where I get to go out on the floor. I mean, he's not there, but I can see what I'm supposed to do. And it makes me feel more confident out on the floor.
That's good. Yeah, that confidence thing is a really big part of, I think, the fitness realm as a whole. Just having the confidence to go out and try it and not be scared of falling flat on your face, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. Now I want to talk a little bit about the online classes that we did when we shut down for COVID. For those of you who don't know, or maybe new to the gym, we were down for about 45 days because of COVID. We closed down March 16th and opened on May 4th of 2020. So, about 45 days that we weren't in the gym. We were in the gym cleaning right before we reopened.
Yeah.
Michaela and I know all about that one. We spend a lot of time in the Clifton gym, rearranging the gym and cleaning and wiping everything down. That was quite an experience.
Yeah.
But talk a little bit about those online classes, maybe the differences between doing a class in front of a group of people and then doing it in front of your cats at home.
Yeah. Turns out I don't love to teach to just the TV or my weird camera. I need those people in front of me. And actually, that's what I would do is I would kind of picture whatever class I was teaching, I would picture my class and teach to that, because I mean, I was literally teaching like this, and this doesn't feel connected. And as far as an instructor goes, like part of our coaching is based upon what we're seeing.
Right.
So I'm not seeing anybody physically out there. So it made it more difficult for me to coach to things. So again, like I would picture in my head, okay, this is, the class doing it. What would I coach to? How can I motivate them when it's just me in my living room? And yes, my cat's running about, stepping on me while I'm trying to work out.
That was the best part of some of your videos, was watching the cats bounce through the room.
My cat actually shut off one of my my Facebook streams too. She just jumped across the keyboard, and I couldn't figure out what she did. So yeah, it was learning how to be comfortable with being uncomfortable in a different situation. But again, like there were so many members who reached out and were like, thank you so much. This is the only thing getting me through. I feel, like I'm there in class with you. And that's kind of what got me through.
Yeah, that was the cool part about our online program, is that we did get a lot of feedback from people who were members of the gym and parts of the community that may not come into the gym that were, utilizing our services, which was great. And it was really cool to see how they were able to connect with those and try and, have that experience still without being able to come into the gym.
Yeah. And I think it got some people a little out of their comfort zone too, because there were people who had never taken my combat class who were like, well, I tried it because I was in my living room alone and kind of liked it, And so I think it got people to try some different things that they might not have tried either. So
that's good. Maybe I'll have to go back and try one of your classes on my own.
That's right. You will get on some shabam.
Okay. I'll try one of those first ones. Let's kind of on the topic of that, what did your family think of you teaching in the living room?
They were sort of annoyed by me because I would have to be like, you in the bedroom, you stay there over here, keep the cats out. It was kind of like a lockdown for them too, because then they're like, but I need to use like the kitchen and I want to get it. And I'm like, 1 hour.
I need 1 hour where you don't get a snack.
That's exactly it. So, but they were like, after the first couple, they were like, oh, mom's teaching it. Okay. And then they just got used to it. But yeah, the first couple, they were like, but why? Why can't I get crushed ice where it's congested, while you're teaching? Because it's going out to everybody.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's even more of a challenge because you got, 2 kids who are in their teenage years or almost teenage years. And
yeah.
I remember being a teenager and I was always hungry, just, pretty similar to what I am now, but.
Yeah, no, they want to snack 24/7. Yeah. They also need you to do it for them as the mom.
Of course. Now let's bounce off a little bit. I know you've got a bit of a background in theater. Maybe talk about that a little bit. How did you get into theater to begin with? How long have you been doing it?
I started doing theater in high school. I had danced from the time I was young. So I'd done all sorts of dance stuff. And then it just kind of led me into theater when I got into high school because they needed a dancer or something for a show. And it kind of got me started there. Then I did one show, then I did another show. And then I actually, when I went to college, I started off at UNC with in kinesiology. And I was going to just not do any kind of theater. But then I ended up really missing that part of my life and ended up graduating with a musical theater degree. So yeah, And still danced through college too.
Awesome.
So yeah, so for years.
Now
And I
you
still do.
participated in some shows here, right? Here locally.
Yeah.
What was the last one? Was it? I just saw it on your social media, but I can't remember what it was off the top of my head.
I want to say the last show I did was Jekyll and Hyde.
Long ago?
I think so. We were rehearsing for Beauty and the Beast when the world shut down. And so we have not obviously performed that. So I think the last thing I did was Jekyll and Hyde, which would have been October of 2019.
Yep.
So
that sounds about right.
Yeah. Wow. So it's been a while, but yeah, still do it, still enjoy it.
That's awesome. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, that was one of the probably the most interesting things that I learned about you when I moved over to Clifton a couple of years ago. Was I had no idea, because we had always chatted when I was doing the fitness consultant job at Junction, and we always chatted, but I never had any idea until I went over to Clifton. I was like, wow, that's crazy. That's really cool. But yeah. Well, let's see here. One more question for you,
Sure.
And I spaced it. Now I'm totally drawing a blank. So we'll just go right into the fitness 4. The fitness 4.
Okay, sounds good.
Anybody who's watching who hasn't seen an episode before, what the fitness 4 is, I ask the same 4 questions to every guest that I have on. I changed that in the second episode, but from here on, these are the 4 questions that I like. Okay. Now, this first one is a little bit altered because you're in group exercise, but it's what is your favorite song in the gym, or what is your favorite track that you teach to?
That's a hard answer for me because legitimately releases are like your children and you love them all. And the next one comes out and I say, oh, this is my favorite release. And then I go back to one that I used to do and I'm like, oh, this is my favorite release. So it's kind of like having your children and having to pick a favorite. But I can say that really any track in combat that has a Superman punch is my favorite. Like it doesn't matter musically what is happening on that track. If I have a Superman punch, I'm fine. That's
probably one of the coolest things that I've ever seen was when we did the classes with Mesa Mall, and I came and filmed one, and you did Superman punch in the routine. That was my entertaining to watch.
Favorite. It's my favorite. So really, like, there's a million different tracks that are that I love. But I could really narrow it down to anything that lets me do a Superman punch.
Okay.
That pretty much takes care of it.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right. What is your favorite lift and your least favorite lift?
Pretty much any kind of chest is going to be my least favorite. It really doesn't matter what it is. If it has to do with my chest, I really hate it. I used to feel that way about triceps, and now I actually kind of like triceps.
Oh, okay.
I know, right?
I like the growth.
Yeah, right. And even though I hate it, I love leg press. Love leg press. I don't know what it is, but you load some weight on there, and it makes you feel awesome.
Yeah, I used to love leg press, and then I hurt my knee, and then I was like, yeah, I'll stay away for a little while.
Yeah, but you just feel like powerful when you do leg press, I think.
Yeah, it's one of those exercises that regardless of how much weight you put on there, you like it's a confidence boost kind of exercise.
Yeah.
Whether you've got 25 pounds on each side, or if you've got 10 plates loaded on there, you feel good when you do it. It's one of those exercises that you feel good, you feel confident.
You do, yeah. It makes you feel awesome.
Yeah, I like that one too. All right, third question on the fitness 4. What are you currently learning? This can be related to fitness or being a mom or cats, anything. What are you learning right now?
Actually, I'm trying to do some more internal focus this year. That was kind of what I decided I was going to focus on in 2021. So I'm revisiting a couple of books that I had been been listening to but never finished, and kind of doing the work on them. The 5-second rule is one of the ones that I'm revisiting, and just kind of working on that confidence aspect, that not second guessing, all of those things. So that's actually what I'm trying to learn for 2020, is a little bit more internal focus and working on kind of processing through that stuff.
I like that. I think that's a really big thing to get out of, coming out of last year, that a lot of us spent a lot of time either by ourselves or in the house with our loved ones. Finding time to kind of internally reflect is definitely something that we should all be doing. I did quite a bit of that throughout 2020, and I listen to a lot of podcasts. I'm trying to read more books. My wife's an English teacher. And when we first started dating, I wasn't huge on reading. I was more put me on a basketball court, or put me on some video games or something like that. But I've gotten a lot more into reading. I'm already through a couple of books this year, which is great. But that self-reflection and personal growth is definitely a big one. I think regardless of what you do, what stage you are in your life, in your career, there's always room for growth.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And taking the time to do it is the thing, I think. There's so many other things that keep you busy and keep you tied up, that it's easy to push that stuff to the side, because you think, oh, I'll do that tomorrow, or I'll listen to that podcast about that tomorrow. I've got to go make dinner. I've got to go do a load of laundry. But it's really important, I think. And so I'm trying to take the time this year.
I agree. I agree. I was actually listening to a podcast. It was probably about a month ago, but they talked about an initiative done by some big companies across the world. And the example they gave was Google. Now, what they do is for a while, they allotted all of their employees, regardless of what area they were in or what specialty they had, they allotted them one day every month that they could work on whatever they wanted. Any kind of passion project. It didn't even have to be related to a current thing. It could be something brand new, new software, anything. And what that did was it forced their employees to take time on something that they were interested in, and since it was kind of a limited time frame, they put 100% focus in on that day. And what's really cool is at Google, that's actually where Gmail came from. That's
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's one of the 3 or 4 different products that are pretty well known now that came out of the project. Related to what we're talking about is when you take time for something that you normally wouldn't take time for, and you allot time in your calendar, whether you write it in your planner or on your calendar, on a whiteboard, whatever, when you allot that time to it, it forces you to take action. It forces you to put your mind on. I think that's something that's really important when you're talking about self-reflection and personal growth, is to allot the time for it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I do the same thing. I do that with my workouts. I make time for those. I have those scheduled, and I just have not done that for the other side of things. So I think it's important to do so.
All right, last question on the fitness board. Okay. And it kind of actually relates to what we were just talking about. What was one positive thing that you got out of 2020?
I mean, there were a few, actually. I mean, some of it was just, but getting to spend that time with my kids was great. My husband actually worked the whole time. So unfortunately, we didn't get like all that time together. Right. Or fortunately, maybe, I don't know, but I had that time at home with my kids, that I wouldn't have had. That, we both, they have school schedules. I have my work schedule, that kind of stuff. And so that was really nice. It was really nice, especially because my daughter is going, she started high school this year. And so now she's super cool and she doesn't have time for me. And so, it was nice because she had to have time for me, because I was the only, the only way she could, she could talk. So so that was a huge positive for me. But I think other than that too, it was kind of learning that flying by the seat of your pants is okay sometimes. You know, I mean, we were literally like one day, you know, trying to finish up the challenge. And then the next day, okay, the gym shut down. And then the next day, okay, can you start doing online classes? I mean, it was just every day literally brought a new set of challenges. And it was learning to just be like, okay, let's do it. Okay, we can, you know, we can try this, or let's move classes outdoors. Okay, you know, and it was just kind of learning to be okay with that and being really flexible. And I tend to be really type A in a lot of ways, and I want that control and to be able to know what's happening. And I had to let that go completely, you know, because really it was every day was a different thing. So.
Yeah, I think that was a challenge for a lot of people and kind of an eye opener because really, regardless of what you do for a living, even as a stay-at-home mom, you know, there's challenges that come with that because,
yeah,
like you said, you're on the edge of your seat just trying to figure out what's next. Like for a little while, it was like every minute of every day.
Exactly. And, you know, online learning, that felt the same way with my kids trying to figure that out, me trying to figure it out. You know, so I think everybody felt a little bit like that, but it was like just learning to be okay with it and just go, okay, this is the next set of challenges. Let's just move on, tackle this today.
Yeah. So. I think in the long term, that portion of it will help a lot of people. You know, I think the self-isolation and the isolation from COVID was something that can hurt a lot of people, but I think there's a lot of opportunities for growth out of that because you take time to self-reflect, you take time to find out, you know, is this really something that I want to be doing with my life? You know, that's what and it really puts the focus back on you, which is something that's really cool. But but I would definitely agree with you that extra time with the kiddos was pretty great. I got to spend time with one, and that was awesome.
Yeah, because you just don't get that, you know. And typically, if you are home, like during the summer, you know, there's activities that they're doing this camp or they're doing this, and there's all these things going on, and life is still happening. But literally, life stood still, and so we all just got to enjoy each other.
Yeah, so. Yeah, it was definitely something that was super interesting for a lot of people.
Yeah. So. It's good.
Cool. Well, if somebody wants to learn more about you, meet you, how can they find you?
I have my email, which is my work email, which is Michaela Sessum at mesafitnessco.com. Or they can always call the Clifton Gym, which is 970-523-4500 and ask for me or leave me a message there. And then I'm on Instagram at michaela.sessum. And I must admit, I've been on Facebook for quite a few months now, but I am on Facebook as Michaela Sessum as well.
Awesome. So, cool. Yeah. Well, thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
To get this one out and introduce the world to Miss Michaela.
Well, I don't know if the world needs that much more of Miss Michaela, but you know, hey. But thank you for asking me to do this.
Yeah, of course, it was very fun.
Okay, good.
What's up, guys? I can't take myself serious. What's up, guys? Dylan with Mesa Fitness here, and I'm back for episode 5 of the Gym Talk series with Mesa Fitness. No, I did not like that.